News tonight, a plant that makes explosives for the United States military has plans to expand in Kingsport. But some who live nearby say they fear the impact those plans will have on the environment. Holston Army Ammunition Plant wants to ramp up production at the 6,000-acre facility in West Kingsport. To do that, BAE Systems, which operates the facility, needs to make a $450 million upgrade. But the expansion also will mean more environmental emissions, so the company has to get permission from the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. Chantel Batista was at a public hearing where this topic was discussed.
Tonight was the public's chance to speak up about the proposal. Dozens came to the meeting, most expressing their opposition to an increase in emissions, specifically the open burning of explosives and contaminated waste.
We have to speak out enough and make enough sense to make the people in Washington realize that this is not fair to us. We may live in Appalachia, but we have children too.
Vocal opposition not to the idea of what's being made at Holston Army Ammunition Plant, a key provider for explosives for the military. Instead, those who spoke out voiced concerns over the impact to the environment, the air they breathe every day. A main focus of concern is the increased emissions from increased production and the impact on the environment of open burning. Black smoke sometimes can be seen leaving the plant during open burns. News Channel 11 got this video last January.
It would vibrate my windows, and it would shake all the windows in my house.
The Army insists there is no other safe alternative to dispose the waste.
No smoke is good for anyone like that. There's a lot of cancers right around my house. 8 separate kinds of cancer in 5 houses.
A state environmental consultant told the crowd, as of now, Holston Army Ammunition's permit allows the company to burn more waste than what they currently do.
Under the PSD rules, if you are only increasing a production rate or an hours of operation and you're not exceeding an existing limit from another permit, then the rule specifically says that does not count as a modification.
Not at this meeting a representative from the military or BAE Systems. Some here openly wondered if their voice would have any impact on the permit decision.
The engineering or science behind the calculations, those would be very pertinent. But as far as just making a vote that you don't like that facility there or you don't like what they do, per se, is not a comment that would necessarily alter the outcome of any permit condition.
After the public hearing, TDEC environmental consultant Travis Blake announced that he is pushing back the date to submit comments online. Community members will now have until September 25th at midnight to submit their comments on the TDEC website. We'll put that link up on WJHL.com.